What's going on, everybody? JockTDX here. Going to showcase a gameplay on Twilight Gap where I went 23-3 using my Hunter with Gunslinger, Last Word, a version 2 Ifrit Spear, which does not have Final Round. I think I was using it because my Benevolence was on my Warlock, and it has Short Gaze, which is my preferred scope. And I mean, I put a pretty good game together. Didn't use a lot of heavy. I made some. My deaths were pretty stupid. Like, I know, looking back at the video, I was like, and at the time of when I made those decisions, I knew they were bad. So it probably could have been better, but it happened. So here it is. Twilight Gap also historically is one of my least favorite maps because I feel like there's only a couple really good sight lines, and then the ones that are, especially for sniping, for me at least, and the ones that do exist are camped pretty heavily. I mean, as you can see where I run out to start this game, somebody's running out to this spot too. I usually like to pick one or two guys off there, but since he was already there, I figured I'd move on, but I got one good quick kill. There's a guy going down here, so I'm going to go focused on somebody else. I'm going to go ahead and get that kill. I think the one thing I wanted to talk about is some of the changes that are coming on Tuesday. This is the last weekend we're really going to have to play Trials of Osiris. With patch 2.0, they're going to be kind of taking away Trials at least till the end of the year. At least that's what I saw on Twitter, which has its ups and downs, I guess. I mean, when you introduce a gigantic weapon rebalancing, like we're about to see here on Tuesday the 8th, it's kind of hard to know how balance is going to be, or the state of balance in the game, especially when it comes to playing a very competitive game mode like Trials of Osiris, or Elimination in general. Trials of Osiris tends to be more competitive than Elimination is, and that's because there are rewards directly related to you winning. I mean, this weekend I've had mixed luck. We were at 8 wins, and our game, I was dropped from the game. We were 2-0, and I had just wiped the entire team. And then I got a beaver error because I lost connection with the other players, which I thought was rather coincidental that I suddenly lost connection with the other players in the game after wiping the enemy team. I don't know, that's just me. But like I was saying before, with them introducing all of these weapon changes, and then the Taken King coming out in a week afterwards with new weapons, and everyone has to regain to level 40 and get new gear, and then do the whole figuring out of what light means in the new game state. I think it was a smart decision on Bungie's part to kind of suspend Trials of Osiris till the wake of the Taken King settles. Because this will allow them to see what weapons are effective and not effective still, and it'll also allow them to see if the changes they made were for the good or for the bad. I mean, it'll be nice that, I guess, auto rifles are useful, or at least more useful than they are in the current state. But who's to say that the changes that they make, even though they sound good in theory, are good, so to speak. So, I mean, the major change, I think, is the two major ones that are of note are really hand cannons and shotguns. Shotguns will be less effective, I feel, at range, which is good. I think they were talking about nerfing Blink as well. I don't know if that's happening in Weapon Balance 2.0 or 2.0 land in general. I know they're talking about it occurring. My thoughts are that the time it takes you to ready your weapon after coming out of Blink should be extended, or the time between the two blinks should be extended. At least I think that's how they will balance Blink in general, and I think both of those options should occur at the same time. I mean, just in theory, being able to pull a shotgun out immediately outside of coming out of blink should not occur, in my opinion. You should have a cooldown, because it's a little unbalanced where it is now. I mean, it's hard enough to kind of figure out where they're going to come out of blink, but it's disorienting enough for them to have such a high upper hand. And then hand cannons are getting a damage reduction with distance. They're getting a aim reduction when aimed down sights, I believe. A bunch of other changes as well. And I don't even think Thorn is coming into the Taken King. I think they said that it would be at some point, like all exotics would be in year 2 at some point, but not right now that all of them will be there. Which is good and bad, I think. I mean, the easiest way to change the meta away from everyone using Thorn is to remove it altogether. So that's seems like what they're going to be doing anyway. I think the other changes are I think they're trying to increase the distance between engagements. And what I mean by that is expanding on using scout rifles and pulse rifles at a more expandable range, and then using auto rifles and hand cannons at a close range, which makes a lot of sense. I mean, that's how it should be. You shouldn't be able to thorn somebody across the map with like you would with a scout rifle. So I think all of the changes that, I mean, with specific weapon types are where they need to be. I feel like, I mean, pulse rifles weren't really touched too much. Sniper rifles weren't really affected too much outside of the whole final round perk going away for sniper rifles. Well, it's not going away, but it's only, the damage increase only affects headshots. So if you hit a headshot with a sniper rifle, you're going to get the kill anyway, which is good. And I mean, for the most part, I think what they're doing, like I said with trials, and what they're doing with the weapon balancing, it's hard to put out so many weapon balance changes and figure out how a competitive game state will kind of adjust to that. So they're going to kind of put the changes out, get rid of that highly competitive game mode for a little while, and then see how things settle, and then go from there. Is what I mean, that's what makes sense, and that's what seems like is happening. So this the game is about to kind of come to a conclusion. I appreciate you guys watching. I had some good plays, I had some bad ones. Overall, I think the takeaway from this gameplay was how I spent a lot of my time in engagements where people were involved in engagements with other people. So I kind of came at it from the side or from behind, rather than going head to head and against 2 to 3 people. So I think that was kind of how I did so well in this game. There are also some lower ranked players in there as well, so I mean, it's hard to say, but I didn't top the leaderboard, came in second on the team. I mean, I had the best KD at around 7.5 or so. But I appreciate y'all watching. Let me know what you think. Like, leave a comment. Subscribe for more videos. But I appreciate y'all watching. This is JockTDX. Thanks for watching, guys.